There's a place called a gin mill way down in the slums. There's a place called a gin mill way down in the slums. My baby goes that night and
Well, howdy, folks. How y'all doing tonight?
I'm doing good, cowboy.
I'm doing much better.
We're here at a new place for us.
This is definitely a new place. Not new people, just a new place.
Yeah,
New place, different city.
I really can't believe we haven't been here yet.
I don't either. It's very cool. It's very quaint, cozy, a fantastic bar.
It's very prohibition-esque in here.
Oh,
Yes.
I love this back bar here. This
Yeah.
is fantastic, and everything they have on it.
And not just the scotch, the bourbon, whiskey, and they got some great craft beer in bottles. They don't have any stuff on tap,
Fine.
but they have great selection of beer, and obviously their whiskey selection is out of this world, and we're going to have a whiskey tasting tonight at Madison's. But
Well, that's what I was going to ask. We at no point actually said where we were till you just dropped it. I was going to ask, where are we?
That was the element of surprise, man. You just ruined it.
Sorry. I always mess it up.
The beauty of editing that we won't do.
But yeah, we're at Madison's. It is a very cool little place. I love the brick. It's just quaint, but it's very cool. It is. It's kind of like that old Prohibition style place you go into.
I feel like we walked through the restaurant and they took us to the back room where the booze was.
Yes.
That's
But you know
exactly
what?
what it felt like.
Somebody earlier when we were just randomly talking to him, they kind of said, this is very family. You feel like
Yeah.
family when you come in. And I mean, this is the first time I met a lot of these people, and yet you're talking to them like they are family. And
Right.
it seems like a
Right.
really cool place to hang out.
Yeah, I could be a local here. Easy.
Oh, easily. Especially with all that back there.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
like Brendan said, even though they have a smaller selection of craft beer, you can tell they took their time in choosing what craft beer they carried.
And not just, I mean, they have not just craft beer, but they took their time in selecting the beers they have. You're not going to come in here and I didn't see any light beer up there.
I didn't either.
No.
They
I
have,
think
not
Blue
at all.
Moon's the lightest thing they have.
Yeah, they have carefully selected their beers to go with their menu and great Italian menu, and their whiskey choices are amazing.
Well, their bar is actually overflowing. And we'll post up pictures you'll see on our Facebook page.
Yeah.
But
I look forward to helping them make space.
Cowboy just walked up and said, yes.
Yeah.
What do you want? Yes.
Yes. And actually, one of my favorites right now, Contradictions, made by Smooth Ambler.
Yeah.
I walk in. It's a very hard bottle to find nowadays. I walk in, look up, and it's here?
Nice.
Oh, my.
Oh, yeah.
And not only is it just here, but it's damn near a full bottle.
Yeah.
And the last time I seen one, I went through a full bottle. So I'm
You put,
pretty excited.
Uber in your speed dial.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah. Uber's getting a call tonight.
Good possibility. Look forward to this event. We've been talking about it for
Since
months.
Dig In.
Yeah, so
we met Dan Stackpool at Dig In, and it was funny because I think we talked a little bit about it in the last episode, but we sat there all day long, and they were cutting up duck and grilling up duck all day, and it smelled absolutely amazing. And we got them at the very end of the show, and they yanked the power on us.
So it didn't actually get to air.
No.
So that segment did not get aired, but
Right. But he said, who cares, guys? Come on up to the restaurant. Let's do it here.
and
So
it just kind of worked out that they had a whiskey tasting the night we want to be here.
Oh, darn.
How is
that
that
work?
not a bad thing? I really cannot get over the feel in here. And Jordan said it earlier. I mean, it's really Prohibition-esque. I mean, you
We're in
kind
the
of
back section.
you kind of walk through the front part and it's just a restaurant, and then you
Right.
got a hallway, long hallway you got to walk through, and it's just wait a minute, there's a bar back here.
especially with the rustic long hallway to our left
Right.
that leads who knows
Out to
where,
the back,
probably the back escape alley route.
Oh yeah,
That's what that
absolutely.
reminds me of.
yeah.
The cops come in the front door and we all run out the back door.
Oh yeah.
Not sure what the giant steel door behind you is, but
That's the safe room.
it's,
Coppers never get me in here.
they must not need to get into it too much because you're sitting in front of it.
That's okay.
Either that or it's to the next restaurant.
I feel safe. Well, the next restaurant over is
Is that the bank, right?
no, it's Quack
Oh.
Daddy's next to us,
Oh, Quack Daddy's. Okay.
Yeah.
which, by the way, is a phenomenal donut shop. If anybody's
Really?
a donut connoisseur listening to the show,
And yeah, for those of you who don't know where it is, it's just on the main strip here in Pendleton.
Yeah.
You Quack Daddy, you got the bank, you got Quack Daddy, Madison's right next to it, right on the end.
Yeah.
And one step further than that, if you don't know where Pendleton is, it's just off exit 19 on Highway 69.
Yeah, I mean, we're
Really easy to find.
1.3 miles off 69, right? I mean, straight shot. Can't miss it. It's a beautiful place.
It's an easy drive pretty much from anywhere. Just go up 69, get off the exit, bam, you're there.
Yeah. And it's just a cooler area, too, actually. I'd never really been in here.
No, I haven't
Not
either.
in Pendleton at all. I've been
to Pendleton occasionally, but usually, only time I've ever actually been here was going to the bank for lunch with family.
Yeah.
Because
the whole
there's
area
a
just seems
killer tenderloin there, I guess, apparently.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Supposed to
absolutely.
be a really good tenderloin.
Well, I think we got a
had
friend that needs to know that, or probably already does.
He
Oh,
probably
yeah.
does.
I'm sure he's done a write-up on that. Who is that?
Mr. Rick Garrett.
Mr. Rick Garrett, that's right, the tenderloin man.
He's been there, I'm sure, but we'll make sure of it.
Yeah. Well,
It's probably like, guys, jeez, come on.
come on, dude.
Been there, done that.
That's so 7 years ago.
Sorry, man, we didn't know.
So, pre-whiskey dinner, what are you guys drinking tonight? So far, to start with.
Wow.
Well, I'm on the Fountain Square Amber here. It's the Preacher's Daughter.
You had that one before?
Yeah, I have. And actually, Fountain Square was, from my old house, was only like 3 minutes away.
Oh, okay.
So I actually went there numerous times. I think the brewery is really good. All their beer to me has a mineral taste to it, kind of like you're on well water, which I like. A lot of people don't like it, but the people that do seem to like it a lot.
Yeah.
I'm interested in getting into their distillery and their restaurant down there, right?
Yep.
They got that
Yep.
repeal. Was that repeal?
Repeal, yeah, and
1205 or 12 something. What's the distillery?
I think it's 1202,
1202.
something like that.
Well, something like their whiskeys have different numbers though, or whatever their liquors, because I thought they're selling them in some stores now. I saw a post up.
Yeah.
One was, I said, like 1205, another was like 1207.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought it was all the same name. Huh.
Oh, for the different, yeah. So yeah, I got to research more into it, but yeah, we're still looking to try to get into there.
Yeah, we definitely have to
Awesome.
get in there. It's one of the few we haven't been into yet.
True.
But I really like most of their stuff there. They do a really good job. Nothing's too overhanded. Everything's really smooth. I mean, it's very drinkable beer.
You pulled out the all-day drinker with that one.
Yeah, I
Get
think so.
started.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, yeah, too. Jordan got fancy.
I did.
If you didn't notice, he keeps hitting his glass up against his mic stand because his glass is too big.
I'm trying very hard not to do that, but if I put it on the other side of me, because we're in very confined quarters, and Cowboy and I end up holding hands, and it's a little awkward.
I'm really not opposed to that. No.
But I have Magic Hat's number 9 in my glass.
Magic Hat out of.
That's a good
remember that
question. I don't really.
I hadn't heard
I
of that.
don't
one.
remember. It's delicious though. It's got a sweetness to it, but it fits the beer. Again, it tastes like it's an all-day drinker, but I don't really know what the alcohol is on it.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. It could be a 9%er here that I'm drinking on.
We'll look it up here in a minute.
I think B's already on it.
Come on,
He's kind of fast.
He does.
Kinda
He
slow.
does move fast.
that's what she said.
So while he's looking that up, Pat, what you got?
Oh,
Same thing I got.
Well, you guys are married now. Did anybody
We're
hear
supposed
about
to-
their nuptials?
no nuptials. What are you talking about? Oh yeah, we great minds think alike, I guess. So I've got a Young's Double Chocolate Stout. I've never heard of these guys before, but I believe this is an import.
yes.
From
Yeah.
England. So, but it is actually quite tasty for a stout.
Actually, and I'll send you guys off there. First place I ever had it was this place called Fireside Brew House in Greenwood.
Okay.
And when they first opened, they had it on sale like it was domestic.
Really?
Oh, and went through a lot of it at the time.
Did you sell that for a domestic price?
I don't know, but I drank it, and I wasn't
Well, hell
gonna.
yeah.
I wasn't gonna tell them a thing.
Well, I mean, it's only a 5.2. I get a little confused by the label though, because it does say Double Chocolate Stout Ale with natural chocolate. So how can it be a stout and an ale?
They were confused as well. It's a European scale.
Yeah, I was gonna say those weird UK people.
Yeah, since those are two incredibly different types of beer. But
That's why the label threw me off a little bit.
So, Brendan, did you get our Magic Hat answer?
They're out of Vermont,
Okay.
and that is a fruit vegetable beer.
A fruit vegetable?
What?
Yeah, I know I've had one a while
I know.
back. I don't think I cared for it.
I
I
actually
don't
like
remember
it.
too much.
It's very refreshing. Would you
That
like to sip?
Officially, it counts
Yeah.
as Jordan's salad for the day.
Which is really weird because I feel like I've had it and I have no
The
idea.
fruit makes sense. It does have a sweetness to it, but it's not overpowering. It's
It's only
very clean when it finishes.
5.2%.
It's
Oh,
about
yeah.
what we're averaging. That's what mine is. That's what the Young's Double Chocolate is. About a 5.2. So we're on the, and these are still an all-day
It's like
drinker.
it's like a V8.
It's like a V8.
Doesn't taste
No,
like
it's.
I think it's like a beer,
Yeah,
is what he's
there's
saying.
nothing wrong with it at all.
yeah.
It's
It
not
starts
something I
sweet and then it finishes real clean. It's different.
The
Yeah,
vegetables
but
on the back end.
It's got some grassy notes to it. I mean, I wouldn't buy it,
No.
but it's a good beer. I just not one I would. Those ones I wouldn't seek out. It's a good, a good 3. I don't know what Untapped. A good 3.0. A
There you
good
go.
solid
3.0.
solid
Three.
3.0.
All right.
But
They'll probably get 3.5 out of me, maybe
Yeah.
3.25 maybe, but it's
Well, that's
it's not
good.
bad. I mean,
It's not bad at all.
it's drinkable. Obviously, I'm drinking it. I've had worse,
Oh,
much worse.
these two had worse on one of our recent trips. On what was that? What was that? You were choking down.
Oh,
boy.
Barn something or another
That
on
was,
that was
nitro.
that brown ale, that nitro brown ale.
Yeah, where
Barn.
was that from?
I can't. It was like
What was that?
brown cow.
I think
cow.
no,
Brown cow.
that wasn't the
No.
brown cow.
I can't
I
remember.
think we were
I've
trying to
done.
mentally block it. It was so
Yeah,
bad.
I've
Darn
done
it.
my best.
I thought you
not
guys
to.
still had that in your mind.
Nope.
I didn't mean to bring it up and now get confused on that.
And what was great was our brother sat there. My brother sat there and watched us both order it, laughing, and then after he got it, said, "You guys know that sucks."
Yeah, but it looked like it should have been good. It was.
I mean-
it was a brown ale on a nitro line.
Yeah, I mean it's a little hillbilly bar, and there wasn't a lot of good beers to choose from. And they're just getting in the craft business,
Yeah.
So they didn't have a lot to choose from, and God bless them, they tried to put a few up there. That was a failure.
Yeah.
Is it Barnstorm Brown Ale?
That sounds good.
Sure.
there we-
Whatever. I can't remember.
If the beer was that bad, I don't think
Oh,
you need to take too
dude.
much time researching it.
No, I literally watched. I just sat there and watched them just choke it down for an hour.
What were you
almost.
doing? Sipping on mint tea?
Oh no, I was drinking. What was I drinking?
That
I was
Black
drinking
Widow?
Widowmaker.
Yeah, the
Widowmaker.
I was drinking Widowmakers. I was perfectly fine.
Yeah. Yeah. It honestly took everything in me to finish that beer.
Yeah.
Had I not been in a bar, I probably would have thrown it out if I was at my
Yeah.
house.
I could have cleaned the carpets in our condo with it.
Oh. That's for another story.
Well, save that for another day. Woo, we'll
But
get into that story long.
We are here at Madison's. I think we need to get a special mixologist over here.
You should.
Start talking to him a little bit and get familiar with the event tonight.
There you go.
I like it. I need whiskey.
This is Ron Smith, and you're listening to Blind Pig Confessions.
What's the best way to make it through a long work week? Take a midweek break and join the fun every Wednesday night at Alley's Ale House in Fishers for Nico's Open Stage. Want to share your talent in front of a live audience? Whether it's breaking in some new material or jamming out to some favorites, Nico's Open Stage is the place to go for it. There's never a cover charge, and walk-ins are always welcome. Each week brings a featured artist and drink specials from Jack Daniels. Check out Nico's Open Stage on Facebook for more details. And come join the fun every Wednesday night at Alley's Ale House, home of the boys of Blind Pig Confessions.
Turn
Let's hope
him up.
nobody unplugs it this time.
Yeah, that's right. Last time we got cut a little short there, didn't we?
We
Yeah,
sure
a
did.
little
Yeah.
bit.
Oh, boom, gone. No more power.
No more duck. We're gone.
Oh. So how you been since then?
I'm still 5'7", and I lost some weight, and then I put it right back on. So
Oh, well, there you go.
Not much has changed.
It's
Yeah.
winter.
I like to say I'm putting on my cookie weight.
Cookie weight?
Yeah, I stretch my stomach out so I can eat more cookies in wintertime.
Oh.
Wow.
I think I had a mistress named Cookie.
You know.
I thought that was Quickie.
No, that's his nickname.
Yeah. Don't call me Quickie Cowboy for nothing.
That's true.
Well,
All
of course,
right.
we're back with Madison's, with Dan Stackpool, the owner of Madison's.
Yeah. Good morning.
Great to
somewhere.
have you.
Dan.
It
I
is good
got
morning,
a
somewhere.
question before we get going too far. What are you drinking?
Duval, one of my favorites.
Ah, nice.
One of the Belgian classics.
Yep.
It's delicious.
Can't say I've had one of those in
didn't s-
years.
I wasn't recognizing the back of it.
Yeah, I can't. We have our share of craft beers here, but because I own the damn place, I have a lot of Belgian beers here because that's what I drink.
That's great.
But that's
There's nothing wrong with those.
I
like
mean that. Why would you
classics.
have anything else?
Yeah, well, as far as historical, significance, it's a good thing.
Yeah, and a bad one.
I think, the Belgians, that's one of the ones I don't think we've mastered here yet.
No.
I mean, I think we do some great stouts, some great porters now, better than a lot of places. but those Belgians are hard.
We don't know
Yeah.
how to name them either. We got Belgian double, triple, quad.
Yeah.
Real.
They're all over the map on them. They don't.
There's a reason I keep buying Belgian beer from Belgium.
From Belgium.
I don't disagree on that. Brendan's right. That's one that, I mean, we've done a lot of great things here in America with craft beer. Belgians is not one that we've tackled yet.
Well, not that there's some very
There's
good
decent
Belgians
ones.
made. There's some guys.
Well, we got to be like
but-
the U.S. was at the end of World War II. We got to go steal all the scientists, right?
Yeah.
From Nazi Germany.
Exactly.
Well, we got to steal the monks out of Belgium. That's
I
really
think
the
that's
only way to
totally
get it
plausible,
done.
yeah.
That's who makes it.
The
They're sitting on recipes that are 500 years old.
and the Trappist ales and all those.
Right.
from
All
the
those
same-
Trappist monks, right?
Yeah. Oh, such good beer.
And they refuse to talk.
And we think our oldest brewery is the best in the world.
How can you brew beer together all day and not say a word? Don't get it.
Yeah,
they're not drinking it. Are they drinking it too? Or are they just brewing it?
I think they're
No, they
drinking
drink it.
They
How
drink
do
it
you-
in a big way.
Boy, that's pretty good. That you
I would
keep-
say they would, yeah.
Are they really the mute type monks or no?
Well, all I know is I have a friend that from high school that went to Detroit Archdiocese to be a Catholic priest.
Yeah.
And when he, it's like a 12-year program. It's
Yeah.
twice as long as being a doctor. But he ended up having to live there, and when they live there, they don't want him going anywhere other than where they tell him to go. So there's actually a bar at the school inside the Archdiocese, and they
Well, this doesn't sound too bad.
they encourage them to drink every day.
Wow.
While they're going to preschool. Interesting. I thought that was interesting.
Well, yeah.
But I partied with some priests in the past. Let me tell you.
I mean, I drink a lot in
They got game.
preschool.
That seems so weird. I've never. I mean, I know priests drink and all that, but that's just not my. I'm not. I don't hang around a lot of priests, but just would seem so weird drinking with a priest.
Well, you got celibacy
Oh, yeah.
and all those other things. You got to do something.
Yeah. That's exactly.
Yeah, but alcohol doesn't necessarily lend itself to keeping those vows of celibacy.
Well, we
No,
don't know
I
what's
know-
in the alcohol.
That's why there's so much trouble in the church.
I know some friends who alcohol they surely wish they'd have been more celibate. Say for the
Well,
alcohol
yeah.
caused a few problems.
It may happen.
Well, I celibate here.
Oh, look.
Speaking of here, why don't you tell us a little bit about this place?
All right. So Madison's is in historic downtown Pendleton, and I don't know if you saw the view coming in if you've been here before, but outside around the corner is the White River. It starts here.
Yep.
And there's little waterfalls and whatnot. It's quite nice. When we found this restaurant, when we found the building, the location, at that point I was retired from the business. I was not going back to do this again. I had 20 restaurants. I was done. And then my better half, Summer, convinced me that I needed a job. I need to get out of the house, stop remodeling, stop doing projects that aren't productive, and stop complaining and bitching and whining and moaning that there's not a decent restaurant without a good whiskey list, without a good scotch list, without a lot of options. So I opened it so that I could have a place to play, basically.
Oh, that's
Everything on the
No
menu
better
are all
reason why.
all our favorites. All the great beers, extensive, huge monster wine list of everything is fabulous. There's no junk on our menu. We don't have well spirits at all.
Nice.
Our well vodka is Absolute or Tito's.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
We figured that. I mean, as soon as we came in and started looking around, I was like, okay, everything is very precisely selected, and there's no junk in here.
I mean, we don't even sell regular soft drinks here at all. We don't sell anything with high fructose corn syrup.
Wow.
So if you want a soft drink, I have flavored Pellegrinos. They're natural, imported, right? And then I do Mexican Coke and Sprite, and that's it, because they have cane sugar.
Yeah.
They're natural. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
Wow.
Don't
That's
tell that
impressive.
to anybody from Indiana that grows corn, though. They'll be pissed at me.
Yeah, a little bit.
Too late.
So what about the food and your chef? And how did that all come around?
Yeah, the food is really what it's all about. I mean, we're talking, obviously, your gig here is about the spirit side and alcohol and beer. And we're doing the whiskey tasting tonight. But I've been an executive chef. In fact, I consider myself a chef de cuisine, which means I manage multiple operations. At one point, I had 15 restaurants running at the same time.
Damn.
Wow.
It's what I do. I fell in love with the business the first day I walked into a kitchen. And that's a funny story, because I got my girlfriend pregnant when I was in college. And she told me she was pregnant. I was like, oh, man, I need to work. I need a job now. And I just got out of the Army not too long before that. Walked into a kitchen with a help wanted sign on it and said, I'll do whatever I have to do. Put me on a line inside of a week, and I was like, I think I like to own restaurants. This is a lot like being in the Army. It's high stress. People are yelling and screaming. I was a medic, so it's a triage environment. You have to make decisions in an order and do what you got to do now where people die or food dies, right? That's the attitude.
Yeah.
I've always taken that attitude towards it. And then I come from a background of very creative, perfectionist type entrepreneurs in my family. I'm one of 8, and we're all business owners. We're all do our own thing. My dad's a motivational speaker, retired, Dale Carnegie instructor. In fact, he's here tonight.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, first time. That's cool. So,
well, you had to have a really good whiskey event to come to bring him in.
We are Irish. Stackpool, Liverpool, O'Toole.
Yeah.
Right?
Just not O'Doul.
Ain't no fool.
No O'Douls.
No, we don't take the alcohol out of it.
Good.
I do have gluten-free beer, though.
Yeah, that's been going around.
In fact, the gluten's free in all the beer. We never charge extra for the gluten.
Oh, well, there you go. That's nice of you. So where'd the name Madison's come from?
Well, you're in Madison County.
Oh,
That's just it?
That's
Yeah,
it.
I had my name on my businesses before, and I took the ego out of it a long time ago.
Nice.
Yeah.
I don't blame you.
Plus, it's free marketing. It's on every vehicle from the county here, Madison County Sheriff, Madison.
Yeah.
So how else can you get your name plugged, 100 ways from somewhere?
Numerous times, yeah.
True.
Ain't a bad one. Was this bar back here when you came, or
It's all built.
It was. Well, for the most part. I mean, I put all the extra shelving in to hold the close to
Extra
400
amount,
bottles of
yeah.
spirits back there, the largest collection in the state of Indiana, hands down. But, the back bars it's an antique from the 20s. The owner of the building is an antiques dealer. And,
yeah?
we were very lucky to get it.
It's absolutely gorgeous.
And when you walk through the front door in the dining room, people have never been back in the lounge. They're flabbergasted when they realize there's something else back here.
Yeah?
And it's kind of like, the Ark of the Covenant opens up and you're like, look at that, look at all that. So
Well, we were
it's
actually
fun.
talking about it earlier. Like, it lends itself to our podcast quite a bit. We're an anti-prohibition. So
Got that feel.
you walk up front and you're thinking, oh, it's a restaurant.
This is a blind pig.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, and then you walk in back and oh, I like this.
And you see the pictures, but it doesn't do it justice. You come in here and walk back here and actually
No, and
see
it
'cause
didn't.
it's
Yeah, I mean, I've
beautiful.
done a lot of looking at your guys' website and a lot lately, and all of a sudden, no,
I think
that
this
does
place-
not doesn't do it justice.
I think it was a speakeasy at some point because seriously, we even have the emergency exit route right there,
Yeah,
right out the back door as the cops come in the front.
good possibility. Good possibility.
We're set up. Well, I used to have a place that was a speakeasy up in Detroit.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Nice.
that's got to be
The
awesome.
old Vernier Hotel and wood buzzers to let you know that people are coming to the basement and stuff. The real deal.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Terrazzo
Wow.
marble. Yeah. So I've been doing this for a while.
Yeah.
That sounds like it.
So this place is like a little hidden gem. All the exposed brick reminds me a lot of my
Yeah.
old place in Detroit.
Right.
And,
Yeah, and I like
fell
that.
in love with it the minute I walked in.
Oh, it's absolutely gorgeous.
It's
Yeah.
simple. There's nothing to it. It's very unpretentious. We're
No.
laid back,
Yeah.
treat you like family, which means what might be rude to you. But
Oh, darn.
But you know what? And we were talking to some of the patrons earlier and talking to them about the place, and that's what they all said. This is like family.
It's like
this
family,
is
yep.
like a home. You
yeah,
come in and
people
you feel
call us
like-
fine dining, and I hate that stigma because I don't want some stuffy waiter treating me like he's smarter than me when I
Yeah.
go out to eat. Plus, if they do, it's like game on, right? Because I really know food, so I look forward to that. I always like to play dumb and ask those questions. So, what is this? And let them just dig a hole.
Yeah, just walk all over.
And then I pull out my
themselves,
Wikipedia answer. Well, no, this is what that is, right? No, that's a lot of fun. This is what I do. I tried to walk away and retire for a couple of years, and I was like, no, can't do it. Stop complaining that there's no decent restaurants out here where we live, and
Just make it happen.
Just do it. So here
So,
we are.
I mean, you're in Detroit. What
Yeah.
brought you to Madison County?
Sex.
There it is.
Okay.
Yep. That's. I mean, no better answer. Yeah, I mean, really and truly.
I
Yeah.
think that's the answer 99% of the time.
No, it's not. But that's the real answer. I mean, that's not what everybody will tell you. But I'm really happy with your answer there.
You're welcome.
Yeah, speaking of Detroit, you're also got some great music in here too as well. You got some blues and
If ASCAP, BMI, or any other legal representative is paying attention to that, all of the music that's played here is original.
absolutely.
There it is.
Beautiful.
Winka, winka.
It's been known, we've been known to have some incredible entertainment.
Yeah.
I bring friends in from out of state, typically from Detroit and
Yeah.
Chicago and other places. So I was attached to the music industry with my restaurants and the studio that I had in Detroit. So as a result, I have a lot of connections.
Well,
so we've had some incredible entertainment come through. Yeah. So if you should happen to see on our website or if you follow us on Facebook, like us on Facebook, Madison's, then you may hear about somebody coming. You probably want to be here.
Get in
because it'll be something that you wouldn't see typically anywhere else.
Right. Nice.
Yeah.
I like this.
Very nice.
And you don't have
Gino Finelli was here a couple times.
Yep.
Good close personal friend, used to play for me consistently. He came in and did a trio thing that just blew people in. We do it in the lounge with like only 25 people, so it's a personal little concert, you know.
Yeah.
Well, you hear that?
Yep.
Let's listen to how long they shake that cocktail. This is why I opened this restaurant, because I was trying to get a martini down in Indy, and I went to like 5 different places. And they shook it like 3 or 4 times and they're done. Still shaking.
Even the martini bars that are in Indy
No.
Still shaking.
Still shaking.
Good Lord.
Still shaking.
That's a lot of
So the
shaking.
rule here is when they're behind the bar, they shake a cocktail till there's snow on the outside of the tin. I want a nice, there you go. It takes about almost a minute, 30 seconds to a solid minute. Nice sheen of ice across top of the cocktail, ice cold, crisp, no burn, great spirits. Plus, it makes them real easy to drink.
Oh, yeah. They go down like butter at that point.
So you're not just a great chef. You know your drinks. You know your cocktails. And
It was really funny when I came in and we were talking about a couple of drinks at first, and you go, that's what you get when you have a chef become a bartender or something like that.
So I've always, every restaurant I've owned had a bar.
Yeah.
And I've been involved in one aspect or the other. And I had to learn wine for what I do.
Makes sense.
And that leads into other things. So then you learn about aperitifs and digestives, so things before the meal and things after the meal. So port wines, cordials, all those fun things. And that, of course, eventually leads into bourbon,
Amen.
scotch, rye.
I think they have a better place than wine in the food industry, but that's my opinion.
And there's not a single person that's ever worked in the kitchen that didn't leave at some night with a handful of people they didn't know and got involved in a bottle of Jameson somewhere. So that's just the industry, right? In fact, there's a little-known secret. You're not officially successful in the restaurant business until somebody in your kitchen has a tether. Have you heard this?
No.
Yeah.
Shaking. All right, never mind. And on that note, let's talk about something else.
So you guys are able to edit, right?
That's
What
why
I like,
we don't go live.
what I'm liking about the attitude, at least from you on this, is you said you had to learn about this and this and this and this. I guarantee you probably, a majority of people who own or a lot of run restaurants, they don't have to. Then that, in fact, sometimes they'll hire other people or they'll just kind
I've got
of
somebody
rely
for
on
that.
some other people. They don't take it upon themselves to have to, and I like the attitude.
Yeah,
about
that's
that.
me.
Right.
That's not the industry.
Right.
That's me.
It's
I'm
awesome
wired that
attitude,
way.
and that's an
That's
awesome
why
attitude.
we're having this whiskey class tonight, and I'm calling it a whiskey class. It's really for my benefit.
Okay.
In that I really need to know more about what I sell, because if I don't have product knowledge, I haven't earned the right to sell it.
It's
I
an
can't
awesome
tell
attitude.
somebody this is what you should have just because I think they should, or because some sales guy said this is great and you should have it. I mean, salespeople come in here and they got a knot in their stomach when they see me because I started asking the right questions. And I want to know, okay, it's great, good backstory on that bottle of wine, fantastic. But is it good? Let's put it up side by side, this for the same price point. And why would I buy that over this? What's the advantage? I want to know the history of what we're doing. I want to know the science behind it. I've always been that guy. Boy, when Google was invented, I can't get. I gotta walk away. I stay up 3 hours a night on my little iPad.
Searching one thing leads to
driving
another.
up
You
the
start
wall.
searching out something else. Yeah.
Next thing you know, you're supposed to be at work 30 minutes ago.
And I'm a hands-on guy. I build things. I create things.
Yeah.
I'm artistic. I'm a musician. So I just can't sit still. I always have to have a project. And
Sounds like Jordan.
today's whiskey.
Dude, sounds like you. You can't ever sit still.
Nope, I'm
You're
always doing something.
reading something or doing something
Absolutely.
or making something or breaking something.
Well, it's a good thing these tablecloths are so long.
Right. Well, that knees are twitching here in a minute. I didn't even tell you. But why don't you tell us a little bit more about the event? I mean, I have noticed you don't have somebody here pitching the alcohol,
Oh, no.
which actually excites me. We go to a lot of beer tastings, a lot of classes, if you will, but there's always somebody there pitching you something.
Right.
That's not here. That's not what's happening.
Well, I'm going to introduce myself when we get the class started here in a minute. I'm going to tell everybody why we're doing this. And you'll hear it again, but I'll say it right now. it's so that I can really learn what I'm doing. I want the customers to understand that I understand
Yeah.
what it is that we sell and what we do. We're going to learn it together. So people have questions. I have a laptop ready to go. We'll pull stuff up. We'll find the answer. I don't know
Nice.
everything about everything. I don't claim to have the first clue about most things. I know a little bit about a lot, and I'd like to learn more about it. And I said, I think I have a lot of people ask me to do a tasting. I said, well, let me do a whiskey class. So the premise of the class is going to be we're going to take a tour of the world. From where it started to where it's hot and hip now, right? So
Nice.
we're going to start in Scotland.
Okay. Nice boggy water.
Yeah,
Yeah.
some of that peated stuff.
Yep.
But
Yep.
we'll start from a single malt. We'll do a blended. We'll do a vatted malt, which is an old term that's now legally changed
Brought back,
to
yeah.
a blended malt whiskey. And then we're going to do something with some peat in it to go to the other side of the island. It's more of that smoky stuff that people aren't used to show how we impart flavors to whiskeys based on brown spirits being aged in wood.
Yeah.
Right, and that's the really difference between vodka and bourbon or anything else is it hits wood. And of course, how many times they distill vodka versus one time. Nevertheless, and then from there we're going to go to Ireland and have a little Jameson because that's my background. And then we're going to go stateside and we're going to do straight corn whiskey.
Okay.
Get back to basics, right? Straight, clear, kind of nice sweet corn whiskey from New York, where it really started. And then we're going to go into down the bourbon trail a little bit, and we're going to have a straight bourbon. And then we're going to go into rye to a more, because now we're going to head a little more modern to some Angel's Envy rye, which is really hard to come by. It's allocated, and we just happen to have a whole bunch of it because I bought it when I could. So we'll get to taste some Angel's Envy, their new rye cask in the rum, and see how that imparts some flavor. And then we're going to finish with a Nika Japanese whiskey, which is really nice as well. Wow. So we're 10 different spirits from all over the world. Take a little tour, and hopefully you guys can hang in.
Japan's
absolutely.
We'll be
Yes,
there.
if you're letting us, yes, then yeah. I'm sorry, I'm speechless now. Well, I've seen the Japanese whiskeys.
They're making some good
Never
whiskeys.
had one.
They're making some,
But I've
very
heard a
nice-
lot of
yeah.
good stuff about them right
Yeah.
now. But a lot of it could be hype.
No.
No, not most.
I've
of the
had a
time.
few. They've made some really good whiskeys. Suntory's amazing. They're putting out some good stuff.
you gotta
good
think-
scotch and good whiskey and good put out good product.
Oh yeah, a lot of the Japanese they'll take what's already existing and then just improve upon it. They've done that for years, ages.
Plus, they own a lot of the distilleries in Scotland,
Now
so they know what
yeah,
they're doing.
Yeah.
They're,
Oh really?
oh yeah.
I had no idea.
Just like they own half of New York, and just like they own all the 7-Elevens.
Well,
Did you know that?
I did not know that.
The largest privately owned chain of any store in the U.S. is 7-Elevens, and they're owned by Japanese. The parent company's out of Texas. It's a front, but it's a Japanese-based company. So I used to be in the quick-serve restaurant business with a chain of restaurants and franchise, so I learned all this.
Never would have known that.
That's why we
pretty
hold on
crazy.
to what we got.
like
Yeah.
whiskey,
Keep
like
your property.
the rest of our whiskey.
Made in America.
Buffalo Trace is doing these huge experiments right now with like 5,000 barrels of whiskey.
Oh
and,
yeah.
there's a lot of people doing. I know we were talking about the quinoa whiskey and stuff like that, but I know Buffalo Trace is doing a whole bunch of goofy experiments.
Well, and that's what Eagle Rare's out of that whole Buffalo Trace experiment, and they've got a bunch of different ones out right now. So far, everyone that they've put out for mass production, I've been really happy with. I haven't found one that I was like, oh boy, that's not very good.
Well, they are the makers of Pappy.
Yeah.
They must be doing something right, I guess.
Yeah, they know what they're doing.
I can't see paying that much money for. I'm sure it's worth it somehow, but I can't afford that.
For what?
Bottle of Pappy.
What's Pappy?
Pappy Van Winkle is a spirit that wholesales for about $70 a bottle, but people sell at retail about $1,200 to $1,400.
What in the crap?
And that's that can be low end
it's
actually.
It's not based on quality. Now
It's
there may
all
be people out there
quantity,
that are, like want to throw knives at me right now, but it's same thing as Buffalo Trace, just aged a little longer and a different little thing going on. But a whole bunch of it got stolen and drove the price up. Trucks of it got stolen, hijacked, and then it started hitting the market for the age stuff, and it just went through the ceiling like selling tickets at a concert.
Yeah.
They're scalping it basically.
Oh,
The-
okay.
And,
word of
then it
mouth and
stuck.
the-
So now it's an allocated thing. Now it's a limited production. So if you can get it, you can. And at the end of the day, There's a lot of other whiskeys out there for $70 that you may want to
try beforehand. Yeah.
versus $1,400.
Yeah, because now it's just getting that bottle and hanging onto it because, you know what I mean? It's not even, I wouldn't want to drink it.
No, that'd be the hard thing.
You know?
Yeah.
But I'll persuade my buddy to buy it, and I'll drink it.
I'll drink it with you.
No, you're going to open that. You can't let that go.
Well, I know we're really looking forward to this event, and I know it's getting ready to start, so I know you got to get up there. It's,
I'm good.
So we'll bring. Oh, keep going.
Well, I'm just saying. I got a couple minutes still.
Okay,
so.
cool.
But if you want to get rid of me, it's pretty clear.
No, just go.
No.
Ow, why are you hitting me?
Get off!
Ow.
I want you out of here. No, I'm really looking forward to that whiskey.
Are you guys going to get something to eat while you're here?
Yeah,
definitely. Taste some
Everything we
whiskeys.
do, the same approach, is really based around how we do food, and then that's why the bar looks the way it does. It mimics, how we do everything. So
Yeah.
very
That's
clean.
awesome.
Again, that is a gorgeous bar
In
back.
fact, we encourage you to walk back and go check out the kitchen.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, you'll see customers go back all the time.
Well, I have seen that, actually.
Yeah. In fact, the health department came in when we first opened, and
Freaking out?
no, they weren't open yet. We're doing the initial walkthrough, and I was telling the lady that by the way, we encourage our customers to. She said, well, this place is really clean. Is basically what she was saying. This is really clean and well organized. I said, well, we want to make it customer friendly. She says, excuse me? Yeah, it's got to be customer ready all the time. That's my motto. I tell the cooks, tell the chefs, anybody, all the staff. This place needs to be customer ready no matter what, 24/7. We need to be able to work in an environment where you'd be proud to show your grandparents and where you work, right? She's like, well, you don't let customers come back here. I said, well, yeah, we encourage that. She's like, she's looking at me, shaking her head, no, saying, just tell me no, you don't do that. And I'm looking at my sous chef time. He's like, no, we don't do that. Like trying to get my back. And I'm like, no, we do. I'm not going to lie to you. So we can do shut me down because you let customers come back. Well, you can't do that. I was like, well, that's what we do.
Why wouldn't you be able to let customers back? I mean, granted, you can't let them in certain areas because you don't want knives flying and whatever. But yeah,
we'll get them on the line cooking. I don't care. You want to cook your own steak? Get out there. Save me a buck.
Nice.
But we'll do it. But we will do a chef's table in the back, a little private table, and do table side.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very
that's
nice.
great. Cool.
10 courses and pair wines and cocktails, aperitifs.
Oh, wow.
So is this your first? Is this one of the first classes, or do you do this kind of on the
This is
regular?
my very first whiskey class I've ever done.
What was the
So
other
this is an
classes?
experiment. I've done cooking classes for many, many years. I've taught as a culinary professional. So
What's your first one here at Madison? The first kind of class?
It is.
Okay.
Now we do wine tastings, which is very
Mm-hmm.
similar to this. We do that once a month, the second Wednesday of every month.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
And the selection here is huge.
Yeah.
At least by
You're
what-
talking about the wine.
both.
Yes.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
So maybe the third Tuesday of every month you need to do a whiskey one?
I don't know if I have
it
enough.
works
There's
out.
only about 500 bottles back.
Oh, man.
We are in the process of trying to figure out how to create more shelf space for the whiskeys because I do want to double what we have. If you can imagine that.
I can't.
I can.
Well, I mean, you don't want to leave it up there too long because that stuff doesn't age well at all.
That's really not helping.
Well,
my
you know,
alcohol.
somebody says, why do you have so many whiskeys from all over the world? And I said, well, I thought about collecting shoes, but I couldn't figure out how to make a buck, right? Collecting shoes. And whiskey doesn't go bad. So that's nice. I mean, we have a good wine selection. I have the cellar, and I have to keep it maintained, the temperature and all that. But the whiskey's pretty happy in just about any environment, you know. So it's a good thing. It's a good investment of our time and energy.
And
Definitely.
why wouldn't it be?
Yeah.
Plus, we like it.
Plus, we like it. And again, it goes back to, well, that makes the most sense. You do what you like.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. Yeah, very awesome attitude for
Well,
all
cheers,
you've got
gentlemen.
going on
Thank
here,
you.
guys.
Yeah. No, thank you. Thank you.
And
Looking
we'll
forward to the event.
see you after the tasting. Hopefully, we'll maybe get you on it for a couple more minutes, depending on how late it goes.
Yeah, we're here for a little while.
All right.
No doubt about it.
Oh, we'll be here for a minute.
I'm Busey.
This is Chili from
Dos
Dos Ringos.
Ringos.
You're listening to Blind Pig Confession.
Woo!
Cowboys, what are you doing?
He's signaling. I
Somebody
don't know. I
wants
think
to
there's
go.
somebody
Are
that
you
wants to.
signaling
We're getting a
dessert or
guest
more
on.
alcohol?
We're getting another guest on. I think.
We're getting a guest.
I think I'm trying to I'm trying to err on a guest and say bring more alcohol.
All right.
There it is.
What's the beer that comes from Cincinnati? The
Yingling?
Yingling?
No,
No, that's not
Cincinnati.
Cincinnati.
But Yingling is good. Yingling is good stuff.
Yingling is out of Pottsville, Pennsylvania. It's America's oldest brewery.
but you can't get it this. You can't
No.
get it
No,
in
sir.
Indiana.
So,
Okay.
I think
yeah.
what this gentleman is saying is he can go to Cincinnati and get that beer.
You can go to any state borderline of Ohio and get it.
I lived in Florida for 7 years, and I can get it at 7-Eleven down the street.
Yep. So in Indiana, you can get it in anywhere you want to, as long as it's one state away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's anywhere else but not Indiana.
Yeah, it's weird. So I actually went to Pottsville like 9 years ago now. So they do this thing where, like, okay, who's the furthest? So they go, who drove more than 50 miles? So you have your hand up.
Yeah.
Who drove more than 100 miles? Yeah. And so it came to me as I was the last person. Like, well, how far did you drive? I was like, well, I came from Indianapolis. Yeah, you'll never see Yingling there. And I, like, instantly had a tear, and they're like,
what?
You get extra beer today.
Oh, nice.
But that's a pretty nice beer.
I
hate that you can't get it here.
Yeah, Yingling is, for rightful reason, it is America's oldest brewery. I don't know how Budweiser's been around as long as it has, especially when there's Yingling. Yeah.
But Yingling's good beer. I mean,
Wait.
it is. It's.
We're talking American breweries. Let's not mention Budweiser. They're not an American brewery.
Exactly.
Yeah. Sad days.
I mean, whatever.
They're not an American brewery.
No, you're
anymore.
right. They're not anymore.
And you might as well go Miller's not one either.
No, it's not.
No, not anymore.
All right, so we got a guest on.
Yeah, so tell us your name.
Dwayne Huntsinger.
Dwayne Huntsinger.
Okay.
Dwayne?
And you're the mayor of...
No, I'm no mayor.
We were told to write him in, though. So.
Yeah, you got our
Election's
vote this
coming up.
semester, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if my vote counts here, but I'm going to write him in anyway.
Might as well. So what'd you think of tonight?
Oh, I loved it. It was very nice.
Yeah, it was a good time.
That's kind of normal here. You know, he does things like that every once in a while.
It seems like if you were to come in here and you tell him, I like scotch, he will pour you 5 or 6 shot glasses. Yeah? That seems to be about the norm here.
Yeah. It's a good place.
So are you normally a whiskey guy or?
Bourbon.
Yeah?
Bourbon.
So you,
bourbon or vodka. I like vodka, too.
You like the Eagle Rare tonight?
Yeah, it's very nice.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, I'm more of a bourbon guy myself, as I find more out. At least for something that I want to drink a few of that night. A whiskey, I can do a nice hot whiskey, or something spicy if I'm just kind of sipping that one for a long period of time.
Yeah.
That's what I'm starting to figure out as I do more of these.
Absolutely.
And I haven't gotten to do a lot of these. This has been awesome. We just finished up this whole 10 different whiskey tastings right now.
And you got a long way to go.
Good Lord, he's got 400 and some odd here.
Right.
I only did 10.
Well, and we'll be back.
So,
come back. Try
so
some
this
more.
weekend we'll be back, apparently.
So we have to do 40 shows here apparently to get through
fine.
all of it.
That's a good goal.
And maybe that can encourage you to buy more.
There you go.
Yes.
Well, it'll be a never-ending choice of we'll just keep going.
So did you like the Angel?
Did you have food here? The food's
Yeah.
amazing.
We all kind of had the pizza, which that sauce is.
I had the salmon
fantastic.
mousse, and it was incredible.
I had a
Was
good
it really?
Turkey, I had a good turkey
I
chili.
seen you mowing down on it.
It went
yeah.
great with whiskey.
Yeah.
I had a good turkey chili and a pizza. And
the turkey
man, it was
chili
really good.
Yeah, food's amazing, and I think we all noticed when we came in here, even before the show started, before whiskey tasting was, the locals that were here and yourself all invited us in, say hey, and talk to us like we were just like we'd been here a million times.
Yeah.
So you don't get that in a lot of places. So it was very, very cool.
No, and it really cool atmosphere.
Yeah,
Really, that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Did you learn anything tonight?
I like the Eagles Rare, like you said. That was, and I liked what was the Angels.
The Angels Envy, right?
Angels
That's
Envy.
that's what I was
Oh,
getting
that
ready to
was
ask you
nice.
next. Yeah, I figured
That
you
was
did.
nice.
Yep.
I mean, I learned a bit because he did a lot of talking, a lot of Q&A kind of in between.
Yeah. For not knowing as much as he says he does, he knows quite a
he knows
bit.
quite a bit. I don't think
He
he ever
knows a
really
lot.
looked at that Google.
No. He knows more than what he leads on.
What did you think on the Japanese one? Because that was my first Japanese whiskey. I
It's
kinda liked
all
it.
right, but I would prefer the Eagles Rare or the Angels Envy probably.
So, did you ever have the regular Angels Envy?
No, I haven't.
So the regular Angels Envy is a lot more spicier, a lot more dirtier than the Angels Envy Rye.
Really? I
Which
would say the
has-
rye would have been a lot more.
You would think, but for whatever reason, it's not.
Huh.
So actually, as I don't know, first time I like the rye over the regular bourbon.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, I've always found the ryes to be so much harsher.
Yeah, and they
at least
will
on
be.
my
yeah.
on my palate, so I'm
Typically,
not a big
but
fan.
Dan actually said tonight, there's a bourbon out there that is 51% corn, like it should be, and 49% rye, but it is way harsher than what you'd think.
I just wonder how that is. Is the harshness from the added alcohol, higher
No.
ABV or anything?
No, it's from the
just
rye.
That spice.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not used like I that rye is what brought me back to drink because I spent years drinking Scotch.
Yeah.
And thought I don't like bourbon because as a young guy I drank Jim Beam and all that. That's shit. And so I steered clear. I said I don't like bourbon because I didn't like that. I didn't realize how wide a variety there were in bourbon, so I stayed clear of it for a long, long time. And I got into Scotch and of course beer, but I love Scotch. And rye was what got me back into. Holy shit, this is really, really good, and brought me kind of back into that bourbon family of whiskeys. And now I'm drinking a lot of more bourbons that I never drank before, but I still love the rye because I like hot food and I like spice and I love those rye bourbons. But now I like a lot of other bourbons, and I'm starting to find that I like bourbons more than even some of the scotches because of that. For I think for your money's worth, you can find great bourbon and rye bourbon and straight bourbon, great bourbons for an affordable price, a good $35-$40. You can get a great bourbon, where a good scotch, you're going to have to pay $70.
Yeah.
You do. You have to pay more. If someone gives you a $30 bottle of scotch, you better stay close to this because it's going to be shit.
Yeah.
So there is a big difference, and you can't get that quality, I don't think, out of scotch that you can,
And you gotta also look at where we're at.
Yeah.
I mean, we are damn near bourbon country.
Right.
You know what I mean? I mean, we're real there. And actually, Indiana has 6 bourbons out now.
Yeah.
As odd as that sounds, a lot of people had the misconception that bourbon had to be made in Bourbon County, Kentucky.
Right.
That's not necessarily true. It was for a while. There was a law, but that quickly changed, and it was only 6 months or something like that.
Vodkas are getting that way too. There's a lot of nice. I've had some vodka from Pennsylvania that was really nice, really smooth.
I agree that vodka's another one that I probably didn't drink until maybe a few years ago because I had shit vodka as a kid and thought, oh, this stuff is disgusting. Or it didn't have any flavor. It was just a burn, and dark eyes.
Yeah.
I've been drinking vodka for a while, and I had found I had a pretty good palate for vodka. I was pulling stuff from Russia and real limited edition kind of stuff, $100 a bottle, kind of things that I was buying at a time, and they were awesome.
Yeah, there are some,
but there are also some newer ones coming out, lower price point, that are just as good as your Grey Goose and your Belvedere.
Right.
Tito's works perfectly with anything,
Tito's
and it's a lower, it's a decent price point.
It's beautiful.
And
nothing wrong with it.
There's no pretentiousness about it. I'm not having it's.
Now when you start saying lime vodka and
no,
no,
flavored vodkas are worthless.
It shouldn't even be allowed to call it vodka.
No.
Well, even Svedka's been out there for a few years now.
Yeah.
I mean, quite a few years really, but it's 1 point below Grey Goose, and I like it better than Grey Goose.
Yeah. What you're getting for the price point?
I'm not a huge Grey Goose fan.
I'm not either.
And I'm not either.
I'll take Tito's over Grey Goose.
That Svedka's 1 point below it, but yet it's leap and bounds better than Grey Goose to me. So what? I don't get it. I really don't.
I'm going to put a plug in here real quick.
Go for it. Yeah.
There's a really cool coffee shop around the corner.
Okay.
It's closed right now, but you guys need to try it. Someday you're in town.
Deal.
On weekends they're open till 8 o'clock, but through the week they close at 6.
Okay.
But you'll have to come in and try it sometime.
Who are they?
It's called Falls Perks. It's a
Falls
really
Perks.
nice,
Okay.
really nice coffee shop. You have to try sometime.
Yeah, definitely. We'll be swinging back by. We know around this
It's
this
okay
area.
to put a plug in, isn't it?
Oh yeah,
we got no problem.
Yeah, we come up here. My wife and I come up here to Quack Daddy's on the weekends sometimes.
Now you gotta hop over.
Go around the corner and try Falls Perks.
I'm a huge coffee guy, so
And we don't just drink beer; we make it. So maybe we could, we always
looking for.
Jordan loves his coffee beer, so
Yeah.
we'll have to go in there and try the coffee and
that'd
see
be
if
a
we
good
can make a Falls Pig beer.
What was your least favorite one tonight? Jordan,
guess
first.
The smoky one probably wasn't.
Which one was the peat one? That was the Smoky Pete.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Probably
yeah.
wasn't a big fan of that. But
Especially being a bourbon fan, yeah, you wouldn't.
It was interesting. I will say that.
I'll give you that. It was interesting.
Well, yeah, no, I don't know if you mix that, but you might be able to make a really interesting whiskey cocktail out of that. Or was it a whiskey? It was a whiskey, right?
Try his
whiskey.
Try his Smoky Mountain Scotch lemonade.
You mentioned that earlier up. Yeah, well, I was
it's
talking
awesome.
up there.
I almost ordered that.
Oh,
Yeah?
you
Just
need to
because
try
of
it.
that boulevard we had on the island.
Yeah.
So we had a drink where we were at one of our recent trips and they called it a Boulevard, and it was.
Well, Boulevard's a traditional drink.
it's
It
a
really
drink.
is.
I've never had it though.
But the way he made it was he actually took an oak plank, scorched it pretty hardcore with a torch, and then took the glass, sniffered it out to where all that smoke just
Got in the glass.
Yeah.
And then while he was making the rest of the drink, right?
Yep. Yep.
And then poured it in, and so it
Yeah.
sat there for a good 30 seconds to a minute. Smoking.
Oh, easily. I mean,
Oh,
Thanks,
interesting.
JC.
and it was it was a gorgeous drink. I mean, it really was.
It had some of that same note, the nose to it.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
smokiness that peat one had.
Yeah, I mean, but the reason why he did it was it's an oak board. I mean, whiskey is bourbon specifically is aged in whiskey barrels. So the reason why he burnt the whiskey barrel, the white oak barrel, is to get that flavor to come out more. And
Brennan, your kind of least favorite one on the.
My least favorite?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Dan. I love you, but I despise Jameson.
Well, he
And I don't
he
know-
did say it was like a cleanser, in between.
No,
there.
and it's very popular, and I drink a shit ton of it, and I'll drink a shit ton of it more in my lifetime because everybody drinks it, and it's shots all around all the time.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of it. There's no way I would ever get a glass and sip on it. It's gonna go down my throat as quick as it can
or
get
mix
down
it
there.
or mix it with something else.
I'm not gonna mix it, but I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fan of Irish whiskey, and I bleed green,
Okay.
but I don't like the Irish whiskeys. I'll take Scotland over
All right.
Ireland and their whiskey making, and then and Scotch making any day. But
Jordan.
Well, as you guys know, I'm just getting into the whiskey scene. Brendan and Cowboy have been working with me for several months now on what I should like, or I should say what I should like. They don't care what I like, but pointing me in the right direction towards what I do like. I do like scotches more. I do like more of the peppery, harsher type flavors. So out of the 10 we tasted today, unfortunately, I also am going to have to say Jameson to me, which is the first time I had it tonight, tasted like shit. And I'm not going to sugarcoat that. That was the nastiest swill I've ever put in my mouth.
Wow, the nasty.
I don't know, but you can't.
As far as whiskeys, no, Wyoming whiskey tasted better than Jameson.
Wow. We have an old story on something called, we were on one of our first trips down south, and we went to one of these bars, and we let Jordan order the whiskey. And he asked the bartender, "Wait, what's the best whiskey you got?" Or something like that.
Of course,
what was it, Jordan? I mean,
Wyoming whiskey. They had some bottles given to them that
I think they were trying to get rid of.
They were trying to get rid of it.
And he looked gullible.
Apparently, I was.
We got this random dude that's asking about the best whiskey we have in here, and it's all on display. So we're gonna give him Wyoming.
I never heard of that ever. Should ask Dan if he's ever got any Wyoming whiskey up there.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he doesn't.
What was yours?
Jameson.
Well, when you're in a sea of all these awesome whiskeys and you just have the Jameson.
Here's the thing, though. I mean, he does have Jack Daniels back there. He does have Beam back there. He's got some stuff back there that is subpar, I will say. And I'm a Jack Daniels guy. I'm a Beam guy. I really am. I grew up on that. I really do not like Jameson. I've got a time in my life where I had hot Jameson twice back to back, and it kind of ruined me for the rest of my life, I think. I didn't like Jameson anyway, and then I had it hot. I mean, not just like room temperature hot, like I had it hot.
Ugh.
And I think it really screwed me for the rest of my life. Maybe not, because I really didn't like it anyway. Yeah. So I think it just probably said, you really don't want to ever try this again. And tonight just confirmed it.
See, I didn't think Jameson had any flavor. It was just kind of It was just kind of there. It was just
right.
Kind of like what he said. It's a palate cleanser.
It is a palate cleanser.
There's nothing there.
When you're having all these other whiskeys,
Yeah.
that's an
And like I said, I like the spice, so I don't.
To
Irish
me-
whiskeys to me are very bland. I'm not a big, or it's too sweet.
See, and I disagree. I think a lot of it comes from your water profile. So when I'm trying whiskeys and everything, a lot of it comes from your water profile. And I think Irish whiskey has nasty bog water. And a lot of it has that same kind of aftertaste. And I think Jameson has a really hard, nasty aftertaste to it that I equate to being that nasty bog water.
Dirt. It tastes like dirt.
It really does. Yeah, I mean that's the best way of saying it. Yeah,
I'm with our guest though. The Smoky Pete one was just way too overpowering and odd for me. I will say this to be honest. First time I've ever actually had Jameson.
Oh, really?
Never had Jameson before.
I hadn't either.
That amazes me. I mean,
I've never ordered Jameson. I've never drank it. I've never. Well, but if I'm drinking something like when I've been in the bars for years, it was Crown and Cokes, Jack and Cokes. If I wanted something a little harsher. Way back in the day, I used to drink 151 and Coke, but that's something else completely. But I never Jameson. You never heard anyone order a Jameson and Coke.
No, but
it's something not something I would have ordered.
You're with your buddies and they're doing shots. It's typically
the only people
Jack or Jameson. I mean,
right, but I've never I only know a few people who actually drink Jameson in the groups we've ever hung out with, and I was busy drinking my vodka or something else, so it wasn't my thing, and I wasn't going to mix Jameson and Coke. That for some reason that just seems wrong. Just out of the normal, you don't hear that everywhere. You hear Jack and Coke, Crown and Coke, something. But nobody ever says Jameson and Coke.
And I shoot Sambuca, so.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we
all disrespect him
anyway.
The
black Sambuca.
Black Sambuca.
Yeah, he doesn't like the white Sambuca as much. We'll drink it if you have to.
It doesn't matter. It's all disgusting.
No, it's not. Sambuca is awesome.
Sambuca is the shit.
Buca and beer make us awesome.
That's right.
That was one of our statements from an epic night of way too much Buca and way too much beer.
So, must not been there.
Let me ask you guys: what's a favorite microbrew here? What do you think?
In Indiana?
Yeah.
Is that where we're going with?
Yeah, Indiana.
I think
local, something close.
Beer
something
brewery.
Close. Yeah,
beer brewery's got a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, we do a lot of good stuff with beer.
And Redemption.
Redemption over on 96th Street.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite in Indiana has to be Taxman.
Now, where's that located?
That's in Bargersville, so it's not as what you're saying close, but they are opening a store here in Fortville here really soon.
Oh, really?
So it's relatively close, and so that's going to be here real soon. I think within the next year.
But
you'll see Taxman.
But you can get Taxman easily around here.
Yeah, you can almost go.
Stores.
You can almost go to any liquor store anymore and find Taxman.
Yeah,
to try it.
So that to me, that's one of my. It's probably my favorite here in Indiana.
Well, the closest. Well, Evil Check's still one of my favorites.
Oh yeah,
in Indiana.
Which it's
just harder to get down here.
Yeah, Brennan.
Yeah, exactly. No, I mean for what he's saying around right. I mean proximity to Indianapolis and around this area. I think we all love Redemption.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think Taxman is incredible. Tin Man, I think, is incredible. All their stuff.
Guardian.
Tin Man out of Kokomo.
Guardian
really
just up over in Muncie. Guardian over in Muncie.
We've only had a few from there. We're going up there to do a show because the stuff we had we thought was like, wow, this guy's very small place, and we thought they're incredible.
Little place called Chapman Brewery.
Chapman was
out of Northern Indy.
Yeah.
They're doing
underrated we thought they were.
How they're not bigger than what they are, I have no idea.
And we just discovered Chili Water as well. Chili Water has some phenomenal beers going on.
Yeah, we got to get the Ruskies guys in there. Jordan and I did a show there, and we were amazed at the quality of the beer.
There's so many around here.
Yeah, amazing job. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to nail it down and say because we do this every week, and there's so many great breweries out there, and they're popping up all over, but a lot of them are putting out such great quality beers.
There's some misses, obviously, on all of them. Yeah, they're not all 100%.
Yeah, but again, for me, pound for pound, just beer after beer, the guys that keep doing it consistently, Taxman and Tin Man and Redemption, just keep every beer is like, man, it's even if I don't like that style. It's like
turns out you like that.
I would drink that beer.
Yeah, and that's the good thing I think about, especially Indiana, and we've talked about this on this show quite a bit. Indiana is such a great atmosphere for breweries because they all want to work with each other.
Yeah,
they all want to make sure that Indiana is becoming this mecca of beer. So they're willing to say, "Hey, I'll work with you. let's make this really a good thing. That way we blow out people in Cincinnati. We want to blow out, you know what I mean? We're doing really, really solid things here in Indiana. I think we're one of the most underrated states for beer. And I've actually started reading a lot of reviews about how Indiana is the up-and-coming
They are, we're definitely
state.
up-and-coming. And that's like everything else we say, just like bourbons and Scott. There's so many different kinds of craft beer, and you have to keep going out there and you have to keep trying them. Go to every brewery and start going through the gamut of what they have to offer, because you're going to find one that you like, and some you might find stuff that you would never drink before, like, wow, that one's really good.
Yeah.
We've learned that, all styles that we all have a different style, but okay, we've been to different breweries that I would never drink that before, but that one's awesome.
Yeah. Well, I mean, honestly, Upland, all of us talked before, we really didn't like Upland.
Okay, yeah. Can we mention Upland Champagne Velvet in every show?
Can we?
We doing
But their Champagne Velvet, I mean, it turned us all around. I mean, it was the beer to turn us around for Upland.
However, I will say Chili Water, the Pilsner at Chili Water, blew
Amazing.
Champagne Velvet out of the water.
Well, that's what I heard from you guys.
I don't know about that.
Oh, I didn't think I'd ever say it either, but trust me, it did.
I don't know about blowing out of the water, but I think it's another just incredible. And for guys that don't drink that style of beer, it was incredible. Just solid beer.
Do you have one that any of the craft beer you've been drinking or seen
I'm
the
more
light
of a-
in
I'm
lately?
more of a bourbon person.
Okay. All right. Gotcha.
Well, I finished with some Four Roses.
There's nothing wrong with that. Oh, you finished out? You got more?
I finished with the Four Roses single now, which I love. Four Roses. It's an amazing American. It's great bourbon.
It used to be a cheap.
It was,
Way back when, it used to be the cheap thing to drink, but
I
now
wish it
they've
still
done
was,
a lot.
because it's amazing
Come
stuff.
a long way.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys. Well, I think we're about out of time for this episode. But once again, I'm definitely glad we came out here to Madison's and
beautiful place.
And this whiskey tasting event was awesome. Hopefully, he has another one here soon. We can let our listeners know when it is, and maybe we can get some more people up here for it.
Yeah, the restaurant's amazing. Dan's amazing owner.
Thanks to our guests.
Great chef. Great mixologist.
It's
Always good having our guests on.
Absolutely.
And everybody go out
He
and vote
seems
for
so
the mayor.
scared sometimes,
if
but
you come back, I might be here then too. You never know.
Well, I mean, you're going to be the nominated mayor at that point.
yeah,
so.
we're just gonna nominate you.
Thanks, everybody, for listening. Have a great night.
America, we're glad, although you made us sad for many, many long and weary years. With your war against the rum, we all got on the bum, but we're thankful that you gave us back the beer. What are we gonna do with that old home brew? We do not need it since we have the beer. We do not want the brew, although we know it's true. When days were dark, it was to us so dear. America, you see, prohibition could not be. You made your law against the rock and rye. Your law was on the line, all the spirits we could not find. The boys were drowning wet while you were dry. What are we gonna do with that old home brew? We do not need it since we have the beer. We do not want the brew, although we know it's true. When days were dark, it was to us so dear. America, you see, you gave us all a treat. We're glad we're living in your happy land. Here's drinking to your health, may your future all be wealth, with a glass of foam and beer in either hand. What are we gonna do with that old home brew? We do not need it since we have the beer. We do not want the brew, although we know it's true. When days are dark, it was